G'day everybody, my name's Steve Woods. I'm from Imprinter, or I'm the creator of the Imprint machine, or co-designer of the Imprint machine, and creator of Imprint machine, and the designer of the Imprint kitchen. And I just want to introduce myself with no machinery around me and no sort of printer apparatus, and even with a blank shirt. So this is all about having a blank slate and introducing you to the machine so I can just show you what's practical. This is the real sort of video. Not so much position for anybody or anything, it's just like I just really want to show you how the machine works. And I think it comes from these years and years and years of prototyping and all that sort of thing, but it really comes from the point of, I've identified like 3 real problems in getting people to screen print, and it's like a couple of different groups, and there's the isolated people, like isolated groups that we sort of really like to work with, where we sort of have this art process going on and we actually produce a product and we get to express that voice. And then sort of the other sort of people we deal with are entrepreneurs that want to make a product and they want to build a big brand and they want to go forward and they want to make something really cool. And even when those guys get really successful, they continue to prototype and they continue to do their own color mixing and stuff like that. And so they take their prototypes to printers to do bulk runs and stuff like that. So they still keep the process. And it's about discovering that process. Even for younger people learning the process for the first time, it's about going through that process of learning what they can do with their hands, learning what they can do, bringing an idea right through that whole progression, right through idea, development of the art, creation of the screen print, to a product that's worth something. So that's like a voice that's actually being given validation. That's the sort of stuff I really love. And also then we have like our third group we sort of talk to, which is like all these artists, and there's so many artists out there, and it's like I'm talking working artists, I'm talking artists that went and became accountants because they had to. I'm talking artists that used to be artists and just don't do it anymore and all that sort of thing. And I'm talking working artists that are doing a whole lot of stuff prolifically too. All artists. This is just another vehicle. It's another vehicle for them to get their art out, and it sort of holds within it. The art of screen printing is I can paint one picture and I can sell it. But with screen printing, I can do 40. And that sort of makes it commercially viable. And so I've worked with a lot of artists that'll do one painting, or they'll do an exhibition of like, however many paintings, but then they'll come and do a print. And so they might do this print, and they might do like 20 limited edition or 100 limited editions, depending on how great they are. But they have this capacity to do a duplicate of an authentic art piece. And so, just introducing myself, I come from like probably 3 different schools of thought. But I'm really about production, and I'm driven by art. I was always an illustrator as a kid, just wanted to draw. I was that kid that was just drawing or running. So I draw, and then I eventually became a designer, like a degree in visual communications and all that sort of stuff. But when I first came out of school, I was apprentice fitter machinist, and so I learned all about metalwork. So I learned about that production process. And then I became a baker and a pastry cook, and I learned all about that production process. And those fields were fantastic because we sort of worked in 3D, and we worked for events, and we were at every birthday party in town, and we made food. So the product had to really mean something to the people. People were going to eat this stuff. It had to be real. And it's the same with print. When we get into print, it becomes all about this authentic product that we can create with our hands, actually making our hands. It's like actually making a product with your hand is a completely different process to buying something perfect from Kmart. It just does not fly for me. This has to be about the authenticity of the art. So if you want to sort of get where I come from, I've sort of used all of those influences, and after 12 years in screen printing as a designer, I've produced this machine and this system where you can actually go home and print. And that's the whole thing. It's actually go home and print, not sort of. Not a little bit, not if it's a perfect sunny day or anything like that. It's like there's ways for you to do this every time, and we try to work our system so it's flexible, so you can sort of come in with no money, you can come in with a lot of money, you can come in with no time, you can come in with a lot of time, whatever it is. But our systems are built around being flexible and allowing you the process of printing and taking the angst out of printing by showing you the drawbacks, by showing you the bonuses, by finding leverage. And so you can actually get on with printing, and once printing becomes the thing that you know how to do, once we form those neural pathways and you actually know what you're doing and you're sort of moving forward with it and becoming confident, then we get back to really integrating the art into the print process. And that's where we're at. I think if you want to look for any sort of inspirations for me, like where I really come from in the world, it's people like Buckminster Fuller, just for his vision, futuristic. I sort of don't really want to dwell in days gone by or anything like that. I think we have to move forward. That's why we just sort of developed the machine so it would never break, because I want people to be printing on this in 30, 50 years. You know, I want people to be able to do this sort of stuff. I love the crazy entrepreneurs. I love the Richard Branson, stuff like that. In Australia, we have this guy, Dare Jennings, who's a bit of a madman on art, but he creates his t-shirt brands and he just walks on water. I really love the way he just interprets the market and speaks to the market through t-shirts. You know, it's like it's this incredible machine, and it's like I know so many other people that do that on a smaller scale, but just do this brilliant personal work that is like the people buy. And it's like other influencers. I think Seth Godin, from his market interpretations and his market drive. Like, these are the sort of people that I sort of allow into my space here that drive this sort of thinking of being able to create this exponential idea. And that's what it is. It's an idea, and then behind it we have the tools and we have the systems. And that's what we want to do. We want to solve those problems and actually give the print back to you.